Good evening. We're going to do a little reading. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We're going to do a little reading. Good things are happening. That's all I know. That's all that I know. And I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep claiming it. It is the truth. It's what's happening. I have watched. I'm just saying it right now. The universe. I'm ready. I'm ready. It's been like showing me little signs of things. Just to be like, okay, keep the faith. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it, but I'm also quite ready. Just throwing that out there. King of Pentacles in the upright. Five of Pentacles on its side. King of Swords in the upright. Three of Cups in the upright. If ever you feel like you know what these cards are supposed to mean more than I do, if for whatever reason you feel like, I've done that before with general readers on YouTube, where I just use a notebook and I write down the cards that somebody else pulls, and then I do my own reading off of those. I don't know why that just came to me, but you are welcome to do your own readings. You don't have to take my interpretation of things. Okay, so this actually came up with this. I'll put this here, I'll put this here. This. Okay, these all came out together. And this one last. It's quite a... Okay, right now what it looks like is this. Which is a bit of a mess. So I'm going to see about how to restructure this. Telling me not to. Okay. And we're just gonna... But like, why is this one face down? Because it's separate. Okay. Okay. So first we have the King of Pentacles that came out in the upright. And then immediately after that, this Five of Pentacles came out on its side. I'm getting this energy of well, somebody, where did my ribbon go? Somebody in some sort of position of power. Somebody who's been quite comfortable with everything that they have acquired. Somebody in some position of power. Becoming impoverished because of a lie that they told about a group of people. Or about a specific group of people's like harvest, or so we have this group of people that are celebrating the harvest. They're celebrating an abundance. There's a lie that was told about this. And this person who's been quite comfortable materialistically, and they're king, like potentially even in control, some position of power. Is losing their wealth. Hold on. I want to flip this card. That's so I'm being impatient. Okay, there's something here. It's working out. It's working itself out. I can't tell if that's what it is or if it's almost like this person that's in power appears to have wealth, but really they're poor. And this lie is causing these other people to celebrate, because these kind of came out separate. And they seem separate to me. Where this King of Swords definitely feels like this King of Pentacles. And this King of Pentacles came out with the Five of Pentacles in transition. Like that's what's coming. I don't know. There's some sort of energy there I'm not fully picking up. Like I'm not feeling anything at all. So I'm going to move forward. I was told that this was separate. The Emperor. Okay, so the Emperor is separate from this. Okay, and then the Three of Swords came out in the reverse. The Eight of Pentacles came out in the upright. And Judgment came out in the reverse. And those all came out literally together on top of each other. On top of each other. Okay, so they came out as if a lie is coming out. A betrayal is being exposed. That there was somebody working behind the scenes to create a false judgment, to create not just a false narrative, but a false judgment. And then the Knight of Wands came out after that. So that would be to false judgment of someone's karmic cycle, of someone's passion. But it's in the reverse. Okay, right now what I'm seeing is that this Emperor is separate, right? This Emperor is probably a judge. If not a judge, like a type of boss, an owner, somebody that has like the final say in something. And there was a lie that was told on somebody's reputation in order to betray them and to work behind the scenes of that betrayal in order to cause a false judgment on a person, on their passions, on the work that they do, on what they've been doing in their lives, what's been driving them forward. Maybe their religion, or like a personal relationship, their sexuality, something like that. And this person that lied did it to impoverish this person, to cause this false judgment to impoverish a person. Or maybe even to rob them. And this lie caused this group of people to celebrate. And this is all kind of happening like without the Emperor's knowledge. This Knight of Wands in the reverse, this person that was lied about, this false judgment that was passed about this person. Maybe the Emperor is completely separate at this point. I mean, he was face down. Yeah, the Emperor almost is giving me this energy that he's somebody potentially mature, potentially somebody with like a lot of wealth and abundance themselves, somebody wise, somebody very strong, somebody very capable, somebody ready to go to war on behalf of what's right. Somebody may be cold emotionally, a bit detached, but they're separate from this situation, and this situation, he's like looking at that where he's seeing that these people are benefiting and celebrating this other person's downfall. But I'm not sure if he sees yet that there was a false judgment cast that created this person's downfall. Can I know more about the Emperor? The Fool in reverse. Okay, so he's somebody very strategic. Somebody taking their time to assess a situation. It is kind of giving me the sense that this is a more mature male. Or at least somebody in a higher position, in a high position. Some sort of authority. Anything else regarding the Emperor? The Hermit on its side. So he's coming out of this hermit mode, but he's processing through it in order to make a right judgment. And he wants to shed some light on... It almost seems to me that he, whoever this Emperor is, has realized something about this Knight of Wands in reverse that, like, I don't think he's even fully aware yet of the lies that have been told and the judgments that have been passed and the work that's been done to betray this person in order to put them in the reverse. He's just recognized that they're in the reverse, and something about that just doesn't seem right to him. Just doesn't seem right to him, but he doesn't know exactly why. Doesn't know the situation. And so he'd gone into the Fool in reverse in the first place, and now he's going through this hermit mode in order to shed a light. And like, because even the way that the hermit is set up in this deck, or in this position, is like his light is coming to be shed on this person. Can I know anything more about this Knight of Wands in reverse? Wanted to come out, but it's acting funny. Anything else about this Knight of Wands in reverse? First it fell on my lap in the reverse like this, and then tipped over onto its side. And so I'm seeing that this person in the reverse has like not been able to defend themselves. And then as it fell over, is like they're learning to defend themselves. And for some reason, as I was setting this down over the night, I saw the word insight on the card. And so I'm seeing that, like, he's learning how to use his wand to gain insight on, even the way I put this card down on its side, all of the wands here are facing towards all of this stuff that's happened. So he's using his insight to be able to kind of defend himself against this false judgment and all of this work that's been done to betray him, and this poverty and these lies. However, he does have his back turned towards this party completely, and it's like he's not even trying to defend himself against them, he's trying to defend himself against everything else. This party is still, they're almost like partying off of his back this way, like they're still reaping a reward from the work that he's doing. They've been reaping the reward this whole time. Can I know more about this party? This group of people. The Four of Cups in the reverse. It's the Three of Cups is the party that we're talking about. So those are the 3 cups. They're receiving from this? They're almost like a distraction, or like there's something that this guy like could have access to, but they're almost serving as a distraction so that like he's so busy focusing on them that like he doesn't see this cup that's being handed to him. I'm getting witchy vibes from these. Some sort of coven, some sort of cult, some sort of society. And they're not the ones that told the lie or did the betraying necessarily. They might be the ones that did the betraying. Just because it's the Three of Swords. This lie came from someone slightly separate from them, but they're all affiliated. Anything else about this Three of Cups group? Three of Wands in the reverse. So interesting, because this is the main card I had for my last reading that was talking all about kind of having these false illusions of faith and religion and these different concepts of these things and how people tend to use those things to fulfill their egos when really there's a different work we're being called to. It's like, yeah, they're opportunists, but for like the negative. Like, how can we take from somebody else? How can we benefit from somebody else? How can we distract? How can we... It almost just gave me like Columbus vibes. How can we work off the backs of what somebody else has already done and claim it to be ours? Okay, so as this Emperor is looking and seeing these things about this Knight of Wands, what conclusion are they coming to about this Knight of Wands as they're seeing them use their insight and as the Emperor himself is using his insight? Let's see this person, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. They're seeing that this person has been robbed. They're seeing that this person has been robbed. They're seeing that this person doesn't have a lot of money. They're not letting it stop them, but it's distorted things. They haven't been able to truly invest into themselves because they've been so busy having to defend themselves. I think ultimately is what they're seeing. And the Lovers in reverse. Okay. This is in part why they're so closed off and haven't been able to invest themselves into these types of things either, because they're so in the defense. Or this is where, you know, this is the reason for their toxic attachment style. It's because they just haven't been able to properly invest in themselves. It's not necessarily that they're immature, they're just preoccupied by this betrayal that's happened and how it's left them and the intents of all these things. And the Three of Cups being here and then coming out that way, it almost seems like it's like, you know, yeah, they've been too, you know, distracted and paying attention to the people that have hurt them and that have been close to them and that are celebrating on their downfall to really embrace union in any sort of romantic or intimate way, to embrace intimacy. Anything else about this Emperor? What's the conclusion he's coming to? Like, not just of the Knight of Wands, but what's he going to do about this? Why is he even looking? What's the point of this? What's the point of this Emperor? The Devil and the Three of Pentacles in the upright. I have one more to explain the Devil. Is that in direct reference to the Emperor, or is that because he's exposing the Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, he wants to expose this Devil and the workings of this Devil, the plans. He wants to expose these plans and the people that have been tied to them and this whole working against this person. Yeah, he wants to reveal this destiny. Is there... trying to see if I pick up anything else from these three. Yeah, he's trying to shed a light on these things. Right now he's very focused on the Lovers in reverse. And maybe that's what he's seeing here too. He's seeing, you know, like I said, like the toxicity of attachment, and where that comes from. And he's seeing that it's not just this person's fault. There's been a lot more going on, and there's been actually an intentional plan behind the scenes to kind of make this person this way. And again, really just so that these people can reap the rewards, it seems. It would seem that the Three of Cups people are essentially just like living off this person's energy. In fact, the more that this person, they were already living off their energy, but the more that this person fights for their own passions and fights for their own freedom, and tries to fight for these things, it's like that energy they're feeding off of. And it's putting him in it's putting this Knight of Wands in the reverse in a position of like not being able to receive the abundance that the universe is trying to give them because they're focused on these things. They feel trapped between these people's stealing of that energy and celebrating the stealing of that energy, and they're opportunistic looking for ways to steal that energy. He's also essentially fighting himself to some degree. He's fighting his need for armor. He's fighting his own boundaries. I think he's trying to become more vulnerable. I say he, it could be a she. It's they. I haven't actually determined the gender of any of these people, really. The Emperor could also be a female. Yeah, it's almost like they're fighting so much because they just want to be vulnerable. But they can't because of this false judgment that's been passed on them, these lies. It's kept them impoverished, it's kept them feeling betrayed, and it's kept them having to work for these things. And it's really just kept them fighting themselves. And almost robbing themselves because all of that energy is being siphoned by these people. At the same time, I'm pretty sure that this king that told this lie directly robbed this person. They have their pentacle. It's not that king's. It's the knight that's bringing it. They have it though. And they stole it to put this person in poverty. And they told the lie about it. And as long as all of these people are like part of that, and as long as they're all celebrating and they're all bound together and they're all got each other's backs, then like they're blocking this lie from being recognized by this emperor. But the emperor isn't even looking at those people. And he, the actual plan that was had was the betrayal and then the working behind the scenes in order to cast this false judgment. That's all like hidden behind all of this stuff. And so maybe that's why it's taken so long that this emperor, like with the Wheel of Fortune being all the way over here, maybe that's why it's taken so long, and why it seemed so intentionally like potentially negative. But the emperor instead kind of went into himself. Instead of just going out on faith, he went into himself, and then in that hermit mode started looking at this person differently. He just chose not to believe the lie, really. He started looking at this, and thankfully, like, it's almost like these people, in blocking him from the lie so that he wouldn't be privy to the fact that there was a lie, he also blocked him from the lie, so then he wasn't looking at the lie, he was just looking at this person being in the reverse. And I think that the hope here, with the sword being pointed here, was that when this lie was told, they hoped that by putting this person in the reverse, and by robbing them, and then by setting them up to constantly have to fight themselves, just to feel any type of way, like just to be able to feel like they're surviving, they feel like they're fighting all of these things, and they are, but they're also fighting themselves. And they hoped, like the original person that told the lie was hoping that that would speak for itself about this person. Obviously they're crazy, they're fighting themselves, they're constantly fighting everybody. But this emperor is not the emperor for no reason. And he went in and went down deep and really started looking into these things. And it's almost like he started with this lovers in reverse. And whether this was like the breakup of a relationship or just this person's toxic attachment style, or something about romance in the negative, and how it was attached to this Knight of Wands in the reverse, they realized, like, okay, so that's why this person's fighting all the time. And at first I think they were thinking that it was this, but this led to the emperor being able to see that there was actually a different plan at hand. And then he realized what it was. And all it takes is the more that he's able to look at this person and really understand this person, that's all it's going to take for him to start to see this false judgment against them. Because as soon as it's just working backwards, as soon as the emperor for himself because he's not believing the lie. It would take him longer to believe the lie. So as soon as he gets to know this person and really understand who they are and what they're about, this judgment isn't going to make sense anymore. And it's going to reveal the work that's been being done behind the scenes to betray this person. And what it's going to end up doing as it comes all the way back around is it's going to free this person. This poverty is going to fall back onto this king. They're going to have to give everything back to this person. They're going to have to give their pentacle back to this person. They're going to end up impoverished. They're going to be proven to be a liar. Everybody's going to see them as a liar. And I'm pretty sure that these people are going to be like left to their own devices. They're not going to have this abundance anymore. They're not going to be able to keep living abundantly off of this person. So that's a specific story and message. I can dig it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Guides, ancestors, angels, any energy or entity that's in higher realms working for my greatest good and my highest power, that allows for these type of readings, for my capacity to be able to read things, for guiding the cards the way that you do. Thank you for watching over me, protecting me, blessing me, and please watch over, protect, and bless those that are receiving from these messages as well. Just bring everybody what they deserve is my consistent prayer these days, that everybody just gets what they deserve. I can rest assured with that. I know some people that fear that, but that's life. That's based on their own choices. But I do pray that everyone gets exactly what they deserve, and that wheel will keep turning in that direction, for the exposure of all these things. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Hopefully that was helpful to anybody. It was definitely helpful to me. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of the night. I might do a different type of video. I'm not really quite sure yet, but I will see you soon. All right.